It's a level here, and welcome to what I hope will be the finale of Let's Play Dead Space 2 Hardcore Run. You know what? Let's take a look at that log that I just picked up. Chapter 15. Tideman's last hope. To anyone who may find this transmission, there are people, even some of my own staff, who say I'm a monster for what I brought to this station. They say the marker is manipulative, that it influenced my decisions. They don't understand what I did for the community, for our species. Titan Station was a dead husk before I breathed life back into it with government research grants. That research into unimaginable sources of energy, into manufacturing techniques and efficiencies beyond all previous understanding, is the only hope that remains for mankind. We have relied on destructive planet cracking for far too long, and now we can no longer sustain ourselves. We need the markers to survive. If we fail in our efforts to understand them, there is no hope left for humanity. Hans Tideman, Director of Operations, Earth Government Colony Alliance. Alright. That's the one I thought I missed. Whoa. Oh, that's really See, he knocks your health down to 0.
I won't let you throw all this away.
Now, Isaac shoots him once here, and you have a couple choices here. You can finish him off with another shot, or you could use a secondary fire. I chose to use a secondary fire. No, this is it.
Thank you, Isaac.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Time to die.
What?
I knew it couldn't be that simple.
Mars is the last body you need to be reborn. The Makers must be absorbed.
The Makers? You mean me? But Strauss said we could destroy the marker.
Not if we consume you first.
God damn it, I trusted you! Fuck you! And fuck your marker!
So basically what I did... Okay, so basically what I did... Gee, that's bright. Okay, what I did is I used the marker, the Javelin gun's primary function to hit Nicole, and the secondary function to cause her to explode almost immediately. And then I use the contact beam to hit the marker's power source, heart, whatever it is. And now the marker's destroyed. So Isaac did his job. And he's kind of resigned himself to his fate, unfortunately. Now, generally, when Nicole dies like that, all the little children zombies are supposed to die too. But I don't know if you saw at the end, Isaac got hit by something that was still alive. That's not supposed to happen. I don't know if I just killed her too fast or something like that. Oh.
You complete bastard. Was
What?
this your great plan? Dump me off and die?
Full of bad ideas, remember?
Yeah, well, here's another one. I'm crashing through the roof to get you. Now
What?
move your ass.
Wait, no, Ellie, it's too late. Stay clear of the station.
Yeah, well, you don't really have a say this time. Heads up.
I knew I liked this girl. Oh boy. There she is. How do... Alright. How do I get up there? Gravity failure, alright. Yeah, I dodged this stuff, unfortunately. Now, mash the A button like crazy. Mash it like crazy. Mash it like crazy. And I'll take a sigh of relief. Oh. Oh. That's it, it's done. Wait a minute. This seems oddly familiar. I remember this happening once before. Narrow escape on a small spacecraft? So Isaac remembers too. Don't you?
What?
Ah, that's great. Got it! Alright, so, now that things are a little less tense, let me kind of explain what I did there. Now, at the end, Chapter 15 is basically, I think, that last sprint from the bench and the, the bench and the, store to where the marker is. And on the other difficulties where I could save right at the store, I'd probably fight them off a little better, but I was just so concerned with making it through, getting to the door, using stasis, and fighting only when I had to, and then just moving. And that's what I did, and I guess I should have brought at least a little more health, but it was enough. It was just enough. And I kind of got screwed when that big thing fell on top of me and was able to swipe me immediately. If that had killed me, that would have been it. I'd have to go back to the beginning of Chapter 13. But I made it through, and I made it to the end, and as you saw, it doesn't matter how much health you have at the end, because Tideman shoots you twice with that javelin gun, and knocks you down to almost no health. And then you can either shoot him in the back of the head with the primary fire, or you could do what I did and use the secondary fire and fry him. I think that's the first time I've done that, but it was kind of cool. And then it's a very simple strategy for fighting the marker. Nicole gets you into that battleground in your head. What I did, and the reason that I pumped up the javelin gun all the way, really I just wanted to get the explosive thing to kill Nicole in basically one shot. So you hit her with the javelin to stick it in her, and then you blow it up, and she'll blow up, not quite instantly, but almost instantly. And generally that's supposed to make all the little things, the little creatures die, and it does, but I guess a couple got past because I did it so quickly, but I wanted to do it quickly. And then the force, the contact beam, not the force gun, the contact beam, you can't power up its damage anymore. It's always as powerful as it is. All you can power up is how quickly it charges, how quickly it reloads, the maximum capacity, which I brought to 6 because it takes 6 shots. That way I wouldn't have to reload. And the other thing is you could put a special power on it that adds stasis effect to its secondary power. And its secondary power is it blasts back enemies that are near you, making like the ground shake. So, obviously, the only reason I used the contact beam right there, the only reason I bought those 2 weapons, even though I bought them earlier in the game, was for the final battle. And they worked well. They did their job. So, yeah, and when you defeat the marker, you go back. Isaac returns to normal consciousness. The marker itself, the physical marker, is destroyed, as you saw. And then the game fakes you out, makes it seem. Oh, you can use this to decipher the language. If you look at the. Oh, I might do that. That's cool. But if you look at this and then translate it, you could figure out that language that all those messages were in the credits. I never noticed that before. So, anyway. Once the marker's defeated, they kind of fake you out with, oh, Isaac's, you know, he's done. He's done his job, and now he can't escape. Of course, you know, there's got to be a sequel. So Ellie comes in with the gunship, blasts through the ceiling, destroys, I don't know, the environmental systems. The obviously becomes depressurized because there's a big gaping hole in the ceiling, and the gravity fails. Now, you can die if you hit those things that while you're flying and rocketing towards the dropship. You can die, so steer very carefully. I thought I was going to hit one of those things and die, and that would have been really upsetting. So yeah, so basically, let me recap how the recording's gone. Now that I'm at the end of it, the first leg with 3 saves, you basically have 4 sections to play. You have 1 before the first save, 1 between the first and second, 1 between the second and third, and 1 after the third. That's 4. The first save I made at the very beginning of chapter 6, so that was 5 chapters. And I made 1 attempt at recording and failed, and succeeded on my second one. The next time, in the next play section, I started at chapter 6 and went through and saved it on the Ishimura, not far from the beginning of chapter 10. So that was 5 chapters. 4 chapters. 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then I made 1 attempt that failed. Actually, I failed within 5 minutes of my first attempt to do that, which is fine, because then you just start again. If you get any appreciable time, like half hour, 45 minutes, an hour, you got to stop and walk away. And then I played again, and I was doing very well. I got to the standoff in the elementary school gymnasium, and I won. And I'm standing there, and then my equipment cut out. I lost my video and audio to my monitor and to my laptop that was recording it. The 360 was still on, but I couldn't see anything, so I had to abort that. And I actually made that recording on my 3rd try. Now, the next section, second to last section, was from chapter 10 on the Ishimura up until I saved it at the beginning of chapter 13, and I made that on my first attempt. And the last section, which you just saw, the end of, started at chapter 13 and went to chapter 15. 15 is very short. So basically, I did 5 chapters, 4 chapters, 3 chapters, 3 chapters, and that last section, that was my first try. I mean, I had done some practicing before I started recording, of course, but that was my first. So basically, the second section gave me a little bit more trouble, but it was still kind of a long section. So that's my playthrough of Let's Play Dead Space 2 on hardcore. And I think this game really improved upon what the first game started. They kept the unique mechanic of, you know, instead of going for headshots, you shoot off their limbs. They kept that, and they put Isaac in a new environment where he's not going back and forth. They gave him a voice. He was the silent protagonist in Dead Space 1, and I love the silent protagonist. The RPG player in me, the JRPG player in me, loves that. But I think it's good they gave him a voice. They made him more interactive. They kind of delved into the psychological stuff. I can't help but wonder if some of the stuff he experienced was actually his own conscious in Nicole's voice. Like at the end there, there was, right before the second to last communication he had with that Nicole spirit thing, figment, imagination, she seemed to be telling him you have to end it. So that's what he did. And the last one obviously tried to kill him. So I'm wondering if some of those communications were his subconscious trying to tell him the correct thing to do while fighting this marker signal. I don't know. I'm probably wrong about that. But that's something that just kind of struck me. Let's see. What else? What else can I mention? Isaac had a voice. He was a lot more interactive. He's a lot more take charge. He's not doing fetch quests so much, you know, having someone direct him, go do this, go do that. I mean, in the beginning, Dana was, you know, directing him to try to escape, although not really escape, try to get to her so she could capture him. Well, we know how that worked out for her. So yeah, I liked the sequel. I thought it did justice to the first one. Again, I don't generally go in for the horror genre, but I think yet again, Visceral Games and did a good job. So I was pleased, and we can see all the people who, well, we've been watching all the people who go into making the game, and it's a lot of people. I remember when I did my Zelda, The Legend of Zelda Let's Play, where you get to the end, literally there's 6 people named, I think, for the whole game, and that game was huge, and it's, I think, still beloved today. And just to see how far things have come. Sorry about that, my screensaver was starting to kick in, so I just had to touch the controller there. I haven't held the controller basically since Isaac got into the craft. So that was great. I actually never thought I'd do hardcore. I thought about actually giving it a real try when I got my PVR hardware, and now I've done it. I'm just watching, and these are some fair for this kind of recording and project. I have to do fairly long sessions. So I always worry that it's going to cut out, and in fact one time my equipment did cut out, about, I don't know, an hour in. But other than that one flub, my equipment's held up pretty well. That's really cool. You see the various personal thank yous to family members of the staff that produced the game, and that usually indicates that we're towards the end of the credits generally. So we'll just keep going with the credits and see if anything happens afterwards. I always was when I would finish the game, I'd always watch the credits all the way through just to see what came after. Sometimes nothing comes after, but a lot of times there'll be a little something, and I think that was the way with Dead Space. So let's see how it works.
This is Flight Team EG9 to Control. We have completed the flyby. There's nothing left. I repeat,
wow.
Titan Station has been completely destroyed.
And
wow.
Negative. Nothing survived this, sir. Marker Site 12 is a total loss.
Pity.
Site 12?
Flight and return to base. The other sites will have to pick up the pieces.
That implies there are at least... Yes, I do. That implies there are at least 11 other markers. Wow. Alright, I'm going to save the clear data in case I want to follow up someday on a normal playthrough. Alright, unlocks new items. You've unlocked new items. You can find them in the store. Oh, you're not going to tell me? Alright. That's it. So, one of the new items that was unlocked was the hand cannon. Let me see if I can... Yeah, you know what? I don't think I could do it in a reasonable amount of time. I might do an appendix episode and show you the hand cannon. But, yeah, that's it. That's my my run-through of Dead Space 2 on Hardcore. Hope you enjoyed it. For now, this is Denson Level, and if there's a next time, I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.